All right. So like I said, I've been trying to redefine like what I think success is for me. Because one, my value is not the same of people of the world's value, right? Because people prioritize money ahead of people, and that's just not how I operate. I think that money is an awesome tool. I think it's wonderful, but I don't think it's everything. I don't think it's everything. And so what I've really come to, I feel like, what I've really come to in my thoughts is that why can't I be successful now? Why do I have to wait until I get, the house and the car and get out of debt? You know what I mean? Why do I have to wait until, I don't know, until people love me, until everyone's screaming my name across nations, and what else? Until I can actually give money to my friends and family. Why do I have to wait till that point to be successful? Like, who said? Who said? AO says success for me would be having a job that I don't hate and ideally allows me to make some type of a difference. I love that. I love that. And like, doesn't that sound obtainable? Doesn't that sound fair? Like, doesn't that sound like, I'm not gonna say it's easy, because I feel like a lot of us are trying to figure out like what that is and how to access that and really determine like how can I make an impact, and also trying to pay bills at the same time. So to me, like that sounds successful. Like not hating the job that you have to go to every day, that sounds like success to me. And making enough money where I don't feel like I'm living check to check. I'm with you. Sally got her foot on my neck. Mine too. And I'm tired. I get calls from her like 3 times a day. It's not even funny at this point. And the job would be a big part in allowing me to feel less stressed, fearful about the pursuit of other things. I agree. For a lot of people, like money is freedom. Money is freedom. Like if all your time is tied up in working, then yeah, like you're not going to have enough money to really like do the things you want to do. And also let's talk about the stress like of actually being at the job, but also you being burnt out after your shift is over or after the week is over, right? So you're stressed out while you're at the job. You're talking about being stressed out today. It's Sunday, right? So like they're really taking up your mental space, your mental time, having a bad job, even well before you clock in for work. And so you're dealing with that stress before you go into the job. You're dealing with that stress while you're at the job. You're dealing with it the night of the job because you got to do it again tomorrow. And then by the time you get to the weekend, it's like you got to do everything. And like you're trying to recover and recuperate in time for Monday. Like, so I feel you. And so you're not going to have energy to do all the other things you want to pursue because you're just trying to live. So I feel you. But yes, success. So again, I believe that we are successful today. I feel like Barbara mentioned this earlier. My definition of success has changed, and it is still changing, and I'm still trying to figure out like where I stand on it, especially as an artist. But also I feel like for anybody, like whether you're an artist or, you work a 9 to 5 or you're like a mathematician, I feel like everybody's creative. I feel like everybody's an artist. I feel like that's the gift that God gave us is creativity. But no matter what your job is, no matter what your life looks like, I think that we can be successful today. And so to me, one of the ways that I feel like I can be successful, again, y'all excuse my handwriting. I'm trying. All right. One of the ways that I'm trying to figure out, or one of the ways I'm defining success for me is like the courage to do, the courage to try, right? Ooh, messing up my earphones. The courage. Ooh, I hate it. The courage to try. Okay. I'm sorry. But the courage to try. I was watching something earlier today, and it's something that I've been thinking for a while. I feel like it just confirmed what I was trying to think. I think that we think success means success. That sounds crazy, right? I think we think that success means that everything turns out the way that we think it should turn out. Everything is go. Everything is great, is grand. Everything worked out, right? And I really think that we should start to change our definition of success because, again, maybe for me, success is just showing up here and doing this with you guys, right? Even though I'm scared, even though I'm sweating under my arms right now, even though, I get shaky and I'm like, is what I'm saying making sense? Even though I stutter and mess up my words, even though I fear coming on here and having nothing to say, or people not showing up, or what other fears do I have around doing this? Something going wrong, something messing up, somebody calling me a fraud, right? Even though these things can happen and I do fear them happening, me showing up to me is successful. Me doing the best that I can today is success. Like, I'm going to say, you know what? This was a successful evening. Every time I get off of here, I get off and I'm like, did I do okay? Like, I'm talking to my husband. Did I do okay? Is that okay? And for him, it's like, girl, you ask me this every time. I think you did good, right? But I think for me, I have to start believing that me showing up and doing what I can and doing what God gave me to say or do, or using the gifts that he gave me, is enough. And that's enough, and that's okay, right? Because like y'all saw from the last talk that we had, I was drawing stick figures and stuff. And I know that people do things like this and they're like real artists and they're like, really talented illustrators. For me, I'm just using my stick figures and just trying to prove a point, trying to, show something, right? And so for a lot of people, it's like, what is this trash? You know what I'm saying? And it's fair if they felt that way. But I don't want that fear to stop me from showing up, from doing the thing anyway, because I feel like, yeah, I can't draw, but I can talk. I can try to talk. I can try to communicate, my feelings and what I have to say. And so me showing up, even in fear, even in being insecure, even in questioning whether or not this is important or not anyway, that is success. Hi, happy Sunday. Hi. So I think for me, one definition of success is the courage to actually try. Because beyond that, what control do I have over anyway? Like, I can show up here. I can't control how many people show up. I can't grab people and sit them down in their computers and make them search me and try to find the video. And then, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't do that. I don't have that power. And I don't know if I would necessarily want to do that anyway, like force people to be here. But what I can do is talk to you guys who are here right now. And that is enough. And that is success, right? So again, the courage to actually try, to actually do the thing. Let's see. To me, quality community. Yikes. Quality community, having that is successful to me. Like, that is successful because there's so many people who don't have good friends. There are so many people who feel like they don't matter. There are so many people who feel like their worth is dependent on what they do, what they make, how they serve people, blah, blah, blah. My friends don't ever make me feel like that. I mean, they love that I am there for them. They love that I can serve them when I can, right? But that's not all our relationship is based off of. Like, they see me for who I am. You know what I'm saying? Like, they see me as a child of God. They see me as their friend, their sister. Like, and so I feel like having a good community to me is a part of my success. I feel like that's something that I treasure. That's something, again, that's a godsend. That's something that a lot of people, like I said, don't have. And it's unfortunate. But I really feel like having a quality grade of people around you is really important. One, to be successful, but also that is successful, right? And so if I was trying to be successful by the world standards, then then I'm going to be trying to search like, oh, I need more friends. I need more followers. You know what I'm saying? I need more, I don't know, fans. I don't know, y'all. But like, because I'm so grounded in my core group of people and even the people that are outside of that core group, I'm good. I don't feel like my worth is based off of how many followers I have or how many people liked my post. It is a little, ouch. When you work on a piece of art and you post it and people don't like it, I'm gonna just be honest. Yes, that is a little like, oh, they didn't like it. But again, algorithms, and then also some people just not gonna get it. And just because my people don't get it or because it wasn't for them doesn't mean that I'm not loved. It doesn't mean that I'm not important or valued. My core community, my quality community reminds me every single day, like, that I'm valuable to them. And so I would hope I do the same thing to them as well. But having a quality community is like one of the top tier things for me in my mind to be successful. Another one. Yay. And if you're just joining us, welcome. Pull up and drink a ginger beer. They're not like, I should stop showing the name. This isn't sponsored or anything like that, but like I said, I've been on this quest to find the best ginger beer ever, and so Bundaberg has been really, really good so far. It has a bite, it's crisp, it's strong, it's delicious. All right, back to this. So another thing that helps me define success, good health. It's been said that health is your wealth. And I really believe that. I really feel like we really lost the meaning of wealth and like what that means. We think that wealth means like money. And while it can mean money, I think it just means like being well, like being well. And so having a good quality of life. And so that means good mental health, good physical health, good financial health, sure. But again, community, like these kind of things, like having a good relationship with God, like these are things that are important to me and my success. Like, so if I feel like I'm in good health, physically, you know, you can't always stop yourself from getting a cold or, you know, developing a disease if that's what happens, right? So some of that stuff is not necessarily on us, but a lot of that stuff isn't necessarily on us. But I feel like if you know that every time you drink milk, your stomach hurts, you know what I mean? And I'm speaking to myself. If you know that every time you drink milk and your stomach hurts, it's probably in your best interest not to eat milk, not to drink milk, not to eat milky products, because it's not good for your health, right? It's going to either make you sick, and so that's going to take time away. It's going to make you feel like make you live a lower quality of life than you would have been living if you didn't drink the milk. Whatever, that's a silly example, but you know what I'm saying. And so mental health is really important too. As someone who struggles with depression, my small wins are everything. Like, I feel like we have to start paying attention to the small wins instead of like the huge, huge, huge things. So often when I struggle with depression, it's been okay lately and I'm grateful. But there are times when I feel myself kind of in between, like kind of, okay, I'm good. And then like, I feel like I'm going down. And when I'm in a really bad spell of depression, like sometimes it's hard for me to get out of bed. Like my husband has to help me out of bed. My husband has to like literally take care of me because I'm not doing well. And so, you know, when that stuff is happening, getting out the bed is a win. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, eating breakfast, taking a shower, brushing your teeth, brushing your teeth, brushing a tooth. Brushing your teeth is a win. Because honestly, when you are in those slumps, for those of you who struggle with depression, y'all know, like, it's difficult to just do the everyday things that people take for granted. You know what I mean? Like things that people just like, you ain't showered today, what's wrong with you? You know what I mean? When you don't have the strength, when it literally hurts to move your body, when you are in a good mood, when you are in good health, you treasure that. Like you treasure those days because you know what it feels like to not have access to good health, to not feel good. Angela says, so true. Yes. Barbara says, success to me, doing mundane things to others that make me happy. Taking my grandkid to work. That's beautiful. That's cute. I love that. And it is in the mundane things, right? Like success is in the mundane things. It's not in these super far out things that we hope for and wish for. You know what I mean? We're missing our lives today trying to chase success when we are successful today. Kimberly says, depression is so easy to fall to, but keep encouraging yourself. I appreciate that. I definitely will. And there are things that I try to put in place when I'm struggling with depression, whether it's a playlist or like what else, like an activity, or even if it's just rest that I use to try to take care of myself when I am in those depressive states. But definitely when I'm in them, the bar for me is low. Like I'm not expecting myself to go above and beyond what I usually do on a regular basis when I am in those episodes. Kimberly says, yes. Okay. So again, good health. So mental, physical, financial, soulful. I don't know if that's one, but I definitely think it's important to take care of your soul. Just nourish your soul and, feed it what it needs to hear. Here's something else. If you follow people on Instagram or Facebook, or if you are around people who don't care about you, who make you feel like trash, it might be time to reevaluate those relationships to Instagram, Facebook, your friends, whatever it is. Like if you're drinking, right, and you feel like trash every time you drink, it might be time to take a break. If if you're doing something that makes you feel less than, then maybe it's time to reevaluate those things so that you can be in good health, so you can be wealthy. You know what I'm saying? So yes, let's see. So again, to success. Honesty. Yay. So being honest to me, being honest about how I feel, where I am, being honest about I'm not feeling it today, being able to, again, this comes with great community, but also with great community with yourself, or great relationship with yourself and your God, right? There are times I don't feel like praying, and I'd be like, God, I don't feel like praying. I don't feel like being here. But when I have to pretend to be someone that I'm not in order to make other people feel comfortable, make them feel worthy, make them feel enough, and I end up with the short end of the stick, right? Because I'm forsaking myself, and I have to live with myself every day. So anytime I can't be honest, anytime I can't be authentically myself, I feel like I'm failing. You know what I mean? I feel like this is not success. This is not what I want. I don't want to be in a position that I hate, and then I'll end up resenting either that person or the relationship or myself, whatever it is. Like, if I can be honest, that is success to me. If I can be authentic and say, I struggle with depression, and not feel any shame around that, I'll add that to the list too. But like, honesty without shame. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing to be honest, and have people be like, I hate you. You know what I mean? And you take that in and you're like, I suck because I was honest, right? Or I'm not good enough because I was honest and it wasn't what other people wanted it to be, versus like, I was honest and I stood my ground. Not saying you have to be mean about it, right? You don't have to be mean to someone to be honest, but you're honest and you don't have any shame around it. Like, even talking about depression, it took a while not to be ashamed of talking about it, because there's so much stigma around depression. Some people don't even believe it's like a thing. They think, oh, you're just sad, or, oh, you're just, negative Nancy, or you choose to be depressed, right? And again, I've told you about my trauma with other people who have told me that if my relationship was right with God, I wouldn't be depressed, and how that's just garbage. That's not true. People in the Bible were depressed. I promise. Jesus was depressed. But anyway, so because of those experiences, I felt a lot of shame around my depression, around my diagnosis. And I'm like, okay, so I'm just not going to talk about it. I'm going to try to be the fun loving Alecia that everybody loves, and the happy one, and like the one who has all the jokes and who's down for a good time. And I literally had one of my ex-friends say, only call me when you want to party, when you want to celebrate. Don't call me for the heavy and serious stuff, meaning I can only be half of myself, right? And so being half of myself made me feel like I was half worthy. Like there was a half of myself that wasn't good enough, that wasn't worthy, that wasn't worthy of love and respect, that wasn't valued. And so I tried to throw away that half of myself, but that is myself, so that I'm essentially throwing myself away. You know what I mean? And so because I couldn't be honest in that relationship, my self-esteem suffered, my mental health suffered, because they're reaffirming this belief that I have that I'm not enough, that I'm not good enough, that I am a failure, that I am sick, that nobody wants to see the sad Alecia. They only want the happy Alecia. And if I can't be the happy Alecia, then I'm not good enough. You know what I mean? I hope that makes sense. Kimberly says, yes, music. Yes. Kimberly also says, how do you know when you are depressed? I know that sounds crazy, but I really don't know. Okay, so I'm not a doctor. For me, there are certain triggers that cause me to go into a depressive state, and sometimes there are no triggers, right? So I think they say like if you feel like hopeless, if you feel heavy, if you've lost interest in things that were interesting to you before, what else? If in extreme cases, if you don't want to live anymore, if you have like suicidal ideations, What else? Like a lack of luster in life. Like, I think a lot of people think that it's like, oh, I'm sad. But no. Depression is, you can be sad for sure, but it's more than just like being sad. You're just not interested. Like, you're not yourself. You're not, and I'm trying to explain this, like how I feel it in my body, and it's really hard. But I know what it feels like for me. And so they say, like, if you feel this way for like, I think 3 months, and if there are other people who know, who are like mental health advocates, please correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's, if you feel that for 3 months or more, then you can go in and be evaluated. You can go in before that for sure, but you can go in and be evaluated and be checked. Like, they put you through like the screening process to see if you are depressed. And depression comes for a lot of reasons. So like, some people, after they have children, like, again, you know about postpartum depression. Some of the characteristics that I've read about anyway, I don't have any kids, but like, you know, they're just not interested in their child. They kind of like not ignore, but like that connection is kind of not there for a lot of them. They feel like they're not themselves. Like, and again, somebody who has suffered with postpartum depression is probably better to talk about that. So I probably shouldn't even brought that up, but, it's really just like almost like a lack of luster in life, like a lack of interest in life and the normal everyday things, but also like it could be a heavy feeling or a sad feeling. So I hope that makes sense. So for me, when I know I'm depressed, that feeling is there of just like, what is the point of living? Like, what is the point? And I know it sounds dramatic, but it really is. Like, everything is like, what's the point of cooking? What's the point of taking a shower? You know what I mean? And it is sadness. It is crying. For me, it is heaviness on my heart. Like, I feel heavy, like right here. Like, my heart's been broken. Like, that's how it feels for me in my body. So, yeah. Okay, you said got you. Okay. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. So, again, being honest and authentic in my relationships with myself, with my God, that's really important to me. That is super important. And again, I'll say without shame here. Because you can be honest and still feel shame. But honestly, is it without shame too? With shame too? Because I feel like, I'm just going to say honesty. Because sometimes I do feel shame when I'm honest. And it doesn't mean that I shouldn't have been honest, right? It just means that it was hard for me to be honest. And now that I was honest, I still feel shame, but I have to work through that. I have to work through that feeling. So I think that, again, it's almost like the courage to try. It's the same kind of feeling. It's like, okay, well, I showed up and I was honest. For me, I apologize for the handwriting. Yay. So doing what I love. And so a lot of people think that success is doing what you love and making money from it and like, you know, being wealthy from it and all this other stuff. And to me, I'm like, yeah, that'd be great. That would be success in my mind too. Like, for money, you know what I'm saying? And I would love, like, for a living, just to be myself, to encourage people, to love on people, to make art. Like, that would be great to be able to do that. I'm trying to figure out how to do that. We'll figure it out at some point. But I think just doing what I love in general is success, whether or not it's money attached to it or not. Like, being able to paint just because it feels good, being able to sing because it feels good in my body, because it's something I love to do, being able to travel because I love seeing my family. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, in COVID, it's still not unsuccessful because, again, it's beyond my control to travel right now. But I think being able to do what I love, period, is success. Because I feel like a lot of people live a life where they're just like, oh, I want to do this one day, or I want to do this thing at some point. And, you know, if you're in process, that's fine too, because I have things that I want to do at some point too. But I feel like a lot of people are living in fear to do the things that they actually love, or to even do the work of figuring out what they actually love. Like, that's work too. So to me, doing what I love, watching cartoons, you know, that's a win. That's a win for me. We'll do a couple more before we... Playing. I hate that end. I really don't like the way I write ends. I don't know. Anyway, playing. Having fun. Okay? Having fun. Having fun. Yay. So, having fun to me is success. There are a lot of things to be sad about. There are a lot of things to be worried about in life, just in general. But I really feel like if you can have some fun, you know what I'm saying? If you can have a laugh, if you can share a meal with someone you love and have deep conversations, you know what I'm saying? And just experience joy. I think that was the better one. Joy. Experiencing joy. I think, or allowing yourself to experience joy and really taking joy in the everyday things. I think that's success. I really do. Barbara says, when I feel sad, negative thoughts, what I do is tell myself, Satan wants you to feel negative thoughts about yourself. This is very true. Think on the good. God is good. He is. And I think on positive things about myself. That's hard. That's good. That is good. That's hard. Especially like when I'm in a negative state, to think positive things about myself is like really difficult, but it is important. It is important. I know some people have like used like hacks, like they record themselves when they're in a better state, like of speaking good over themselves, speaking like life and like, you're loved, you're amazing, like hearing it in their own voice, right? Like, I know that you feel bad right now, but even though you feel bad and your feelings are valid, you're still worthy, you're still important, you're still loved. So yeah, talking to yourself positively is really important. That I should add that to my little toolkit, my depression toolkit, because in the moment, I'm definitely not in the mood to say positive things to myself. But I think that's a great idea. That is really good. And a depression toolkit, for anyone who's wondering, is literally like a thing that you put together for yourself when you're in a good state, so that when you do fall into a depressive state, you have things to fall back on. So for me, in my toolkit, for example, The Office, right now it's Reno 911 because it's hilarious. Music, like I have a playlist called Good Morning. Is it Good Morning? Or like Happy Morning or Joyful Morning or something like that. That makes me feel good in the morning. Like on those mornings when I feel like, oh, I feel like trash. You put it on, and then like there are songs playing that just kind of make you move and make you feel like, yes, like I can do this. Like I can literally take this moment and feel a little bit of joy. I can step outside of myself for a little bit. Also things like soda, again, finding foods that you actually like, just putting together a kit to really help yourself while you're in a depressive state, to kind of keep yourself grounded, to make yourself feel nourished, and, you know, little bouts of happiness here and there, to laugh, to enjoy things. So yes. All right, we'll do one more. Oops. Oh yeah, it worked. All right. Time. Having time, having the option, having the availability to really just do what you want to do, to be able to make your own schedule. Yeah, I'm gonna say one more too. Having love, to me, is successful. Like I feel like it's really easy. You can obtain things and all this other stuff, but if you don't have love, what does it say? It's like a clanging cymbal, like a clanging bell. Like, it's annoying. Like, you ever heard things from people who are successful and like they're like, I made this much money and I did, but they're the nastiest people on earth, right? Everything they say is like nails on a chalkboard. It's so annoying. It's like, no matter if their intentions were good or whatever, it's like, I don't care because you're a mean person. You know what I'm saying? I don't care because you're nasty. You could be so successful by the world standards, but if you're a trash person and if you have a trash personality, then like, yeah, nothing you do is gonna make me feel, oh yeah, that's wonderful. You know what I'm saying? And so I feel like if I can continue to live a life full of love, like if I can love people, even if I don't have a dime to my name, even if I don't have a big house or I can't pay off someone's bills, as we talked about before, that's one of my goals. It's like to get wealthy so I can help people with money. And also I want to be wealthy so I can live a life that I love. I want to be out in a field somewhere in a tiny house with my little babies running around barefoot, you know, with froze, and just being free, living in community with people I love. Like, that would be a dream. But anyway, if I have all those things, right, but I don't have love, it's trash. What's the point? It's trash. So again, all this stuff. Like, again, to me, like I said, I'm trying to still figure out what success actually is for me. These are just things that I have an idea about today. I'm pretty sure my list is going to grow longer. I'm pretty sure some things might be taken off or added. But I really feel like it's important for us to see ourselves as successful today. And success is not what other people think you are. Success is not what the world says that you are. Success is not even what you think you are. Because again, like I said, I can't judge myself off nothing, because how I feel about myself changes from day to day. But I really feel like we should have our worth, our identity, our idea of success rooted in something that does not change. You know what I'm saying? Something that that's something that you can hold, something you can trust, right? So if I had the courage to try and show up, and I did it even though I was afraid, right? Because some people would say like, oh, if you're successful, if you did the thing and you weren't afraid and you killed it, you didn't stutter, you didn't stammer, you didn't, trip over your words, people can see the sweat marks under your arms. Like, people would say like, that's successful, right? That's what success looks like. I say for the person who goes on the stage on an open mic night, who is sharp and flat, who forget their words, you know what I'm saying, who doesn't have it all together, them doing it and showing up and doing it anyway, that is still successful. To me, that's successful. That's like, you killed it, you did the thing, right? If you are in good health, right? And again, in good health as much as you can control, right? So again, like I said, if you're lactose intolerant, probably shouldn't be drinking the milk, but there are other issues and stuff that people deal with that they can't help. And so beyond that, right? Taking care of yourself, taking care of your body, washing it, you know what I'm saying? Dressing it in clothes that make you feel good, putting on things that actually, that make you feel good, make you feel beautiful, pretty. Like, I wore these earrings today because I'm like, I might be a baldy, but like, these make me feel pretty, doing things, little things like that. Like, to me, that's about being in good health, being in good mental space too. And again, if you're not in a good mental space, it doesn't mean you're a failure. It just means that you have, information that you can use to better your life. So if you're not in a good mental headspace, go seek therapy. Go talk to your friends. You know what I'm saying? Go seek wise counsel. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing to be ashamed of if you're not in good mental health. If I can be honest, even when I'm afraid, even when I am feeling shame afterwards, even when I'm questioning whether or not my honesty in that moment was necessary or if it was valued, me being able to be honest is a win for me. That's a win for me. Again, what else? Doing what I love, coming here and talking to you guys, doodling in, what is this, Adobe, whatever this is, doodling and talking about things that matter to me. That's doing what I love. I love having conversations. It'd be better if somebody was like here conversing with me, and maybe we'll figure that out later. Like, I can like put a link where people can like come and talk to me if y'all want to talk to me. That'd be really cool. But I love having conversations with people about things that, make my heart swell, about things that like really matter to me, and people really matter to me. So even if people want to come up here and talk about themselves, we should figure this out. I would love that. Anyway, so yes, doing what I love, listening to music in the shower, using a soap that smells good to me, going to Target and treating myself to Black Girl Luxury Days, right? And so my luxury probably looks different than a lot of people's luxury, but that to me, luxury is like, me and my husband last week went to Whole Foods. And so we bought fruit and things like that. And to me, that made me feel like, I'm doing something that brings me joy. So maybe it's not about doing what you love, but doing things that bring you joy. Playing, having fun. We'll say that. It was playing and having fun. Love, right? If I have all this other stuff, all this money, all this time, all this wealth, all this clout, and I ain't got love, if I'm treating people like trash, if I'm using people, if I don't care about people, if I am talking bad about people, if I am tearing down their character, if in one mouth I'm telling you guys like to love yourselves, and then the other mouth I'm like saying this girl's ugly, I don't know, something stupid like that. If I lack love, I have nothing. It's all annoying. It's all for show. And I feel like when we were talking about wealth earlier, I think that's one of the issues, that they lack love. A lot of them lack love, because if you had love and empathy, you would see, oh snap, I have more than enough. Let me give out to other people, right? Anywho, having time, making time for myself to do nothing, to sit in quiet. to brainstorm and to dream and to sleep. Like that to me is what success is.